Alright, live impressions of Selaco. Here we go. Just gotta make sure I can see your comments. Get right to it. Here we go, should be able to see your comments now. So yeah, in this video we'll be having a quick look at what's there in the gore effects of Selaco, some destruction, and let's have some fun. I think we'll start from scratch. We'll go for the easy difficulty, just to make the showcase and testing easier. And do let me know how's the audio balance. Because I heard in the last stream, even after I kind of improved it, it was still... game was way too loud. In the meanwhile, I can say that the design is quite nice. It really is. Very much artistically made. Definitely soul put into it. I grab a gun. Yeah, so the streams are a new format, which is kind of a live look at stuff. So, for example, when a new game comes out, I'll be having first demonstration, then stream, and afterwards, of course, there will be the full impressions video. Now we just have a bunch of new demos, so it's a little bit different, but still a fun format. And we have our first victims. They are a little shy about getting in. So yeah, good old sprite gore. Do love the heads bouncing around. Not gore related, but toppling stuff over should really be a much more common feature. It's so damn cool. And by the way guys, do let me know how's the audio balance. Wanna make sure that nothing is too loud. Because in the previous stream, the game audio still was somewhat too loud even after I lowered it. That's good to know. Thank you, big boy. Let's see anything I can get here. But yeah, I do actually love the fact that it's a small touch, but you can raise your health by eating consumables, so you know, you're running around shooting characters, then you take a stop and eat a donut and continue on. It's a small little touch. It really doesn't like change much of anything, but so cool. So Sean, I think the next and probably only RE game I'll make a video on gotta be the RE4 remake. Just don't find the other ones to be too appealing. I do remember the code for here, so... And yeah, and one thing I do appreciate is like not them generating new codes every time. So you can just kind of like play the game without focusing on reading the same notes over and over again. I gotta do the sliding thing. Here we go. Yes, I do actually hope that they will take stuff further in the RE4 remake. Because as you've seen, the RE3 one had much of the same features, had some downgrades. So hopefully they'll go up this time. We'll see, I'll be following. I'll definitely be covering in this stream format as well. A response to what am I doing with my life? Yes, I do like cats. I did have a cat channel actually. Now it is called VTM Extras, I'll probably add some more stuff there, but yeah, I do have a whole bunch of cat videos. I think it's featured in the About section, I believe. Check the About section of the channel, there's a channel called VTM Extras and I have some cat videos there. Now back to checking the Goran Selaco, which is what we came here to do initially. That is my way of disarming them. So what I think we have is, there is some hitbox for the head, I think. I'll try to showcase that. So you can remove the head specifically. Where did the thing go? Nope, apparently not. I had the impression you can remove the head specifically, but now show the head and remove the arm. But yeah, that's the surprise thing for you. I will die for the showcases as many times as needed. Let's see, I want to specifically remove heads. No, I guess it's just random activation based on the weapon you're using. Because I did try removing legs, that was never able to. You see now. Only if I remove multiple limbs am I able to remove a leg, but I thought there was a hitbox for the hair. Apparently not. Yeah, so as for a dev interview of Selaco, that's actually how I reached out for them. I said, hey guys, wanna come over to an interview? It wasn't the format for them, so essentially we set out on this. I basically got the demo in early access. I was able to make videos before the demo was released, so that is fine. I'll just be doing commentary, live commentary, I'll be doing full commentary on the release, and that is fine. Yeah, and I will be checking the Ravenfield Gore mod as well. Definitely. The guy who made the mod is active on the Discord server of the channel, so I'm well aware of it, and yeah, I will be covering it. Probably in a stream too, because, you know, why not? Some cool new mod comes out, why not make a stream for that as well? Yeah, Sean, you can't have multiplayer body damage in a sprite game like this, but you can have cool variations. So one thing they very much could use, and it was mentioned in the comments, either on the Discord or in the comments, is that you could have like some gory torso variations as well. Not just severing limbs, heads, and obliterating. Yeah, that is true. So when I interviewed Sergeant Mark IV about Brutal Fate, he did say he has some trick for the hitboxes. It's still kind of wrong occasionally, but okay, that was cool. Where did this go? The big mystery of the stream. My bet would be somewhere down there. Not sure I can jump there to find out. Where do I open the access? As the storage cabinet. Now where was I supposed to go? Definitely not here. I remember that from the tests. I was supposed to go up here. Ah, yeah, I remember. See, they had led me in the right direction, but there we go. Maybe we can check for the head's presence. See, people always trust where severed heads lead you. In this stream, you don't only get to see games gore, you also get to learn lessons of life. So I am from Israel, was born in Ukraine. Therefore the mix of accents, and actually accent in every language I speak, because if I speak Russian now, I'm gonna have an Israeli accent there. When I speak Hebrew, there's a heavy Russian accent, and English, well, you hear for yourself.
Selaco, a viable space for human movement to flourish here on Mars. Welcome to me.
Yeah, one cool feature I want to point out, which you will in a moment, is the blood trails for severing stuff. He'd be kind enough to show us. There we go. Very clearly, couldn't be more clear than this. So you actually have a pretty cool trail, but I think the issue with this mechanic is that you have those chunky stains for literally everything. Initial response, obliteration, literally everything the game spawns at one of those chunky stains. And I don't mind the blood cover, it's their art direction. There will probably be mods for it anyway, but what it really could use is more stains variety, and, as some of you guys mentioned in the comment section of the video, a blood pool as well. Definitely. Because, you know, trail functionality is here, and if you had here like some blood drops instead of the chunky stains, I guarantee you the effect would have been better. And the mess is permanent, even the Vagbot can't clean it up. Yeah, here we go. It can't. Can't. You can hug it, but it won't clean blood for you. Oh, the wrong spot. It's actually better to come around from here. You know what? Let's nade our last survivor. Where is he? And I think I killed the Vagbot too. Poor thing. Yep, I have murdered the Vagbot, and yeah, So as I mentioned, obliteration also just a bunch of those chunky stains. I believe that guy there is actually Jim and Leaves, I think? Because I have seen a similar portrait of him in Severed Steel. Also another very cool game. For some reason didn't do well on the channel, but I still really enjoyed it, and I will be streaming it as well in some month when we'll have no new releases. So yeah, definitely need some Steam variety. And speaking of actually pretty nice obliterations, we had it in Repent 2, in the demo. Not a fan of the activation, as you guys well know, but as for the obliteration hooks itself, very decently nice. Especially the spinning. Huge stain, some smaller ones, and of course physically responding body parts. Oh, that's just cool. That's just crazy cool. You push a guy, break some stuff. I love the destruction in this. And of course, the focus on the aftermath. Even with these small bits disappearing, we still get plenty of aftermath to look at. And try to get someone to explode on this, if it's possible. I'll probably end up dying, bad idea. I don't think there's an issue of blood amount on the ground. I think the issue is just the lack of stains variety and lack of blood pools. Very important mechanic. I recall encountering this Nio game some time back. It didn't look to me very appealing, so that's not something I'm going to look at. Ah, man. Oh, that was just mean. So I have no consoles, but apparently the RE1 remake is coming on PC. So that I will be covering for sure. Have a guy up there. Let's take care of him. Here's a shotgun. I almost missed this beautiful thing out. And by the way, speaking of sprite gore, are you guys familiar with that Doom mod? Don't recall the guy's creator, but there is a guy making basically putting in sprites, not in sprites, in voxels, every single sprite from every single animation of every single character in the old Doom games. Essentially making it 3D, very much in the original style of the game. It's not your typical gore mod, but man, that thing was awesome. Looks awesome, and of course we'll be covering it. Just kinda gives a new perspective on that game. Right, let's read their comments. I did hear they are going for finishing IGI now first. Then they'll finish 83. But yeah, don't really mind it too much. I like the first two IGI games, I did play them back in the day. And just like pure kind of like wishing from my side, maybe to me that for 83 they'll make an upgrade to Unreal Engine 5. Just kind of wishful thinking, but yeah, you never know. Anyway, could be a good thing But yeah, personally I'm looking forward for both games. Of course 83 is more my thing, but I didn't mind. But yeah, not like it's not going to happen, still gonna happen, just, you know. Bit later than we were expecting. In the end, I'm essentially making my character diabetic by eating all those cakes. Seriously, there should be like some diabetes. Oh, the game crashed, oh damn. So that actually happened to me when I was testing. Damn. Right, are we back to streaming it? Yes. Yes, we're back. Where's the latest autosave? Here we go. Yeah, so on testing I didn't have the game crash on me. And it didn't save my audio configurations. At about 10%, I think it was. It's basically like a hunk of meat offering, which I will accept. Nice. Sean, you gotta stop spamming your comments. Seriously, dude. So, if some dev approaches to me for feedback and this is a project I'm curious about, yeah, like sure, I'll give him some feedback. No problem. Not gonna like go and, hey, listen to this feedback, or I'll give you a bad review. It's not how it goes. And generally, I think for this style, it's mostly fine, I mean, you know? Maybe like lengthy animations isn't really their thing. As I mentioned, the one thing that you really could use is sprites for torso damage when you use the shotgun. I actually gotta showcase the shotgun later on. And more stains variety. That is the two things I feel the game really could use. Other than that, for this style it delivers. Like the aftermaths are glorious and gotta keep giving my character diabetes. You actually can be slim and diabetic. But the way I was eating in high school, I was kind of on the road for that, like just unbelievable amount of carbs and sugary stuff. I still wasn't fat. Yeah, thanks, Cam Smasher. There is a new one coming up, but I was incredibly busy with other stuff, so the music got put a little bit on hold, but it's still coming. To have something pretty interesting in that regard. Yeah, so she probably burns the calories, but the blood sugar still spikes. Even if you do burn the calories off. Ah, I didn't have an aid. That was the perfect instance for an aid. Oh well. Next best thing? Seriously, Sean, I'm gonna ban you from this channel if you're gonna keep spamming my stream. You seem to like the channel, so like, do yourself a favor, man. What was that access thing? So here's the green room. Here it is, yeah. Perhaps we need now stream moderators as well. Not a thing I was planning, but guess it's gonna be necessary. Alright, let's showcase Shotgun Gore now. So what they usually have is removal of multiple limbs and obliteration is also a little too common for something like this. As I mentioned, I think the shotgun, it should tear holes in characters, it should never basically obliterate the character. It should remove limbs, it should tear holes, but not Gib, in my view. In the end, even though it is in this kind of like sprite style, there are some very cool death animations. Nothing terribly lengthy, but definitely cool ones, you notice. I did say clear fear reference from the boss guy I was talking. It was like, I'll take point, men have no fear. That was kinda cool. Perhaps could use some extra blood actually for instances like this, where he kind of like spreads blood all over himself. That actually could be bloodier. Yeah, and the fun thing about it is that it does remember the blood and decoys even on saves. So that's cool. Apparently he accidentally found the secret. What do you know? You know, if modding is gonna be a thing and you'll be able to spawn a bunch of enemy characters, you should be able to cover this entire place in blood. See now, as for blood disappearing in saves, it's just a thing you kind of have to accept. So it's like a pleasant exception when it doesn't disappear. But overall, oh then. But overall, I'm really not expecting the game to remember where every bloodstain is on saves. And I just appreciate the games where it does. I actually can't obliterate destroy the hands. So I have a guy somewhere I don't want to lose his cabinet key. In the end, what I appreciate about repaying is just being able to activate all those cheats. Mess around, test stuff and kind of like, you know, go no clip and have a clear view from top. It's the next best thing, and as you can see, the environment gets very, very messy. Really could use having a nade for testing, but... But those guys, they have nades. They're not nice to share them with me. But in a way they kind of do share it with me, and you know, they obliterate their bodies, so they do a service. So yeah. They are sharing it with me. And I will say just wreaking havoc in office buildings is one of my favorite things in video games generally. Just trashing offices like this one. Yeah, what do we have here? So we still just get a achievement for killing with headshots, so somehow it does kind of like calculate if you do headshots, but I'm not sure how it works. Oh, damn. Wait, people complained about the office levels in Fear? Seriously? It's like my favorite place in the whole game. Wow. Didn't even know that was a thing. Sean, keep spamming stuff and I'll have you banned. I'll probably have you banned. Seriously.
Looks like I'm gonna have to teach you some manners.
Now console games, probably not. I mean, so here's the thing. The channel's gonna do really well, like, why not, you know?
Warning. Dark Zone Protocol has
But I really don't like consoles, and what do they offer besides basically, you know, exclusives? You can use controller on PC, so you can plug your PC to a TV. So aside from exclusives, there is really nothing that has a draw to consoles for me, and unless the channel begins doing really well, to the point where it's gonna make sense getting one, I'm not planning to. I'll probably get a VR device. I am quite curious about VR. Likely not soon, but it's a thing I am interested about. I gotta gear up for the boss fight, which I think should be coming somewhere here. Where is it? Big guy. Where should I be going? See, now I don't have a severed head to follow. That's an issue. Gotta love our interior vandalism. Let's see. It was somehow a pass. I think I probably went into the wrong level. Yeah, exactly. I mean, historically, consoles have their place. There's probably room for a... I mean, there's definitely room for a handheld consoles for anyone who wants to play on the go, but other than that, aside for exclusives, also secret location, huh? Ah yeah, my health's full. That's why I can't have the carbs. Yeah, definitely went into the wrong location somewhere. About this. This was the main door. Is it gonna be useful? So I think it was in this part of the map, in some main hall. We do have the final boss fight, and here we go, yeah. But yeah, at least I got some armor, so... And yeah. Here we go with the bullet spongy character. Whether I like the game, whether I don't, I think bullet sponges are always just a bad call. Yeah, so he's the guy who's doing few references. Almost feel bad about killing him. Of course, he gives us a glorious blood trail. Wait, I did just unlock a red blood mod? Can I activate it? Let's see, how do I... I think I'll just restart the game. Hopefully with red blood mode being available. Let's see, where do we have, like... Maybe in the gameplay? Maybe in the graphics? What did I see? But I will remove the boom. Never a fan of that. Yeah, so let's have another run. And yeah, Marco, you get brand new PC and you end up playing SWAT 4 or Company of Heroes. Or Jack the Lance too. Those are great games. Yeah, something new and awesome with great graphics to test your PC. So, if you wanna actually test your PC, you can try doing it with Teardown. Mainly test your CPU. And it is an awesome game, especially with the combat mode, which I also plan to do a stream on at some point. Yeah, so OS, as I mentioned many times, it's essentially just the response on the receiving end. Can be realistic, can be exaggerated, can be simple, can be very detailed. Yeah, definitely doesn't matter, it's just like how the thing you shoot at responds. Same fascination I have for destruction. Essentially. So for games with minimal gore or destruction, yeah, definitely not quite as interesting, but you know, there are games like SWAT 4, which is my favorite game. I did play Escape from Tarkov for a very long while, and that game has very little gore, so for me it is a huge factor, but of course not the only one, and a game of course can be fun, even with barely any response on either characters or the environment. Also, Battlefield 2, the 2005 one, was a game I played a lot of. Seriously, the best game in the Battlefield series. It only went downhill. You know, Bad Company 2 is great as a spin-off, very enjoyable. And if some of those ideas remained in the spin-off, it would be awesome, but they took some of the more codish ideas to the main series, which is an issue. Ah, look at that. Oh, that's just beautiful. And if I'm not mistaken, there are still ways to play Battlefield 2, which I do plan to check out. So many good memories from that game. Essentially, all I wanted was a game with the gameplay of Battlefield 2, and you know, proper destruction. That's not where the series went, and that's a shame. So that is their way of donating grenades for me, and yeah, that's appreciated. Yeah, I do have my copy somewhere. I think you can play with minimal bots, like 16 bots. Very simple stuff, but if you want a nostalgia trip, it is good enough. You know what? I'll take it on myself to land a body part on that table. If I haven't done it yet. Nope, I haven't. Let's see. Let's see. Essentially, ideally I could land the head on a plate, but I'll take any body part on that table, really. Even if I have to die for it many, many times, because it is worth it. Alright. Or maybe just play the bloody game. And that's about it. Yeah, body part just refused to go on the table. It's not too late. Oh! Oh, he was shooting me from lying down. That actually I haven't seen at all. Until now. That's really cool. Wait, Mordell died off? Haven't played it in ages. But it was a really good game. Still is, like, basically. Well, I mean, as long as you do have a player base, not a huge deal, right? So for example, Bad Company 2 has a pretty small player base, most are ridiculously good, but who cares? You can still play the game, you can still enjoy it. So as long as it is decently active, why not? I'm curious about what they'll do next. But it's gonna be like Mordell 2 or something else. They are a very talented team, I have to say. I really enjoyed Mordell. And the guys behind it are chill. Oh, 2k players is more than enough, I think. Is there something here? No. So there is one video in the semi-near future I'm planning that will feature Mordell as well. I do have some interesting stuff coming up. I gotta press the button there. So no, I'm not in touch with anyone in NWI at the moment. So my main contact there was Mikey. I talked to him when he was a community manager. He saw the Day of Infamy Go review. So I remember when I made it video, I was kind of like thinking, should I tag them, should I not tag them, because the review was very critical. So that they'll probably hate it, I won't tag them. But then he just reached out to me, tagged me on Twitter. I talked to him a bunch, I gave them some feedback for Sandstorm, which was implemented. I don't know if it was planned in the first place or if I had any effect on it. But some stuff was definitely implemented. And now he's no longer on the team, and I think he's in a team that works on some VR game. Maybe Pavlov? I'm not sure, But yeah, I'm not in touch with anyone in NWI at the moment. And I gotta be honest, I'm really not a fan of their character skin direction. You have too many unrelated looking characters just running around on the same battlefield. Doesn't look right. Really would have preferred they kept it authentic. And you kind of had this issue in Day of Infamy 2, when they added like skins from I think almost every front. You could have skin of, so you could have a snow map, yet a skin of a what's it called? Uniform of a German soldier from Africa. Doesn't make any sense now. So not a fan of that. And they took that with steroids in Insurgency. So not a fan, not a fan. Would have much rather they stick to basically somewhat uniforms, maybe different suits for different maps with some configurability.
The Allied Coalition for Expansion worked tirelessly to create Selaco, a viable space for human Smiths to flourish here on Mars. Welcome to the new home.
So what I hope for better in Arma 4. First of all, I gotta say, I don't think there's gonna be any better gore in a new Arma game, just not the thing they're gonna have in the base game, and that is fine. But they have improved the modding capabilities quite a lot, as I have heard from several modders. So that's what I hope for them in terms of gore. Basically just give more room for modders to do their thing, which they excellently do, as I've seen in the videos I covered. But what would be awesome to see in terms of response is, of course, destruction. Where it would be very, very appropriate. And by the way, like since Operation Flashpoint, there was always a focus to some degree on destruction in the Arma games, and just would be nice to have that aspect taken further. Have it look nicer, have it feel less janky.
Generator back online.
Perhaps that is grounds for a video. I mean, so it doesn't have to be dynamic, the destruction. Just like a decent variety of variations for structures, for objects and surroundings, and have it just look nice, you know. I think it is grounds for a separate video. You know, kind of a procedural war in a way campaign would be kind of cool in something like Arma, where you don't just play, you know, the same remade missions over and over again, but something a little more procedural. It would be really cool, especially with the huge maps they always make. So we have some replay values, you know. Yeah, so actually, Gnome Salad, I never played VR. I never had the chance to try a VR thing. So I'm curious about it, but, you know, no rush. Eventually I'll get to it. As for Starfield, I actually noticed some frame drops in their trailer. That's not a good sign, guys. Not a good sign. I'm essentially kind of worried it's Gamebryo with a fresh coat of paint. By the way, a very nice looking coat of paint. But that's also what we had in Fallout 4. Just a fresh coat of paint on something that feels as janky as Fallout 3 and New Vegas. But one thing that they do great in those games, in Fallout games, is environments. They're just fun to explore. So I remember, like, the reason I enjoyed Fallout 3 wasn't for the combat, rather tough for the combat, but for the really cool environments, and that stuff matters. And you have kind of like inspiring environments you want to get back to, replay, explore. And they always excelled at that. I would say that the Dying Light 2 also. They had some very decently fun explorable environments. But relatively few games really excelled it. Can I kill him by pushing him around? Yeah, I can. Yeah, definitely. I really hope we'll see in more games just better interior responses. It is doable. So, I mean, you know, you can't have like amazing kind of like Rainbow Six Siege style holes in walls, very dynamic wall destruction, where that game had it. But you definitely can have more responsive interiors. Perhaps not as many small beats as you have in this game, of course. But you definitely should be able to wreak havoc in offices. Oh, that wouldn't die. This stuff, just so damn cool. I have paper scattered around, pieces of glass, of course the blood, the cake. Yeah, so Josh, we did some head experiments early in the stream. You can rewatch it later on and you will see we did some head experiments. So basically you do have a random activation of dismemberment. We know the game does recognize when you do headshots because of an achievement, but you don't see it as a response in combat. Not sure how it works, but you know, it is this sprite-based gore. There are limits and yeah, you have what you have. And for a retro-style game, this really is amazing, like. Immediately pops out as exceptional. Yeah, this Marco, this game is made by a team, not one guy. Definitely a team. Not exactly sure how many, but they do have community manager. They have a UI guy. I'm following their lead programmer on Twitter, so yeah, definitely made by a team. yeah, strafe also is quite cool. Definitely had an enjoyable gameplay loop we could just play over and over and over again. And for a while I actually did it. Strafe is a quite enjoyable game. I'm actually wondering what the dev of Strafe is up to. There's our fellow. I wanted to push him through the grass and kill him. Did not work out. Sometimes just kill and don't make the cool move. If you care about your character's life, which I semi do. Oh yeah, so what I heard about Ready or Not is I've seen a comment on one of the videos saying there's some new wounds in the game. In the supported version. I'll be checking it out and yeah, I can definitely say the gore in Ready or Not currently is not final. To which extent they'll go I have no idea, but I can confirm it is not final. So anyway, you don't stay alive. Yeah, there's a guy. Yeah, so what this room lacks in destruction, it definitely makes up in the amount of characters that get here and stain all over this place. Big mistake for that guy. Oh, that's a cute pig. So, in Ready or Not you do have that famous pre-made dead guy, which I think is still in some level. But of course, I don't really know. I don't think you have like dynamic head gore or something like that. But essentially just a good variety of variations for each character would be nice. George, this one is on the equivalent or normal mode. But either way, you know, like, a gory responsive SWAT game is something I very much want to see, and really hope they'll end up delivering. And I know the team, I know some guys who worked on it, I know some guys who still work on it, and they are very talented, and we'll see how the game ends up being. I think I gotta go there.
Looks like I'm gonna have to teach you some manners.
Warning. Dark Zone Protocol has been initiated. All communication systems have been shut down until further notice.
It came from there. Not the MRI exam, that's for sure. Here we go. Yeah, the pre-made destruction sequences. You kind of tell you where you're supposed to go. So yeah, we'll have the boss fights and yeah. I'll be ending the stream. Live look at the gore and destruction effects in Selaco. Very enjoyable game. No, it immediately popped up as something exceptional to me. And playing it now definitely holds up to my expectations. Could actually use some extra burgers before the boss fight thing. No, that can't be the right way. Can it? Get a little bit lost there. Oh yeah, that thing, yeah, right.
Looks like I'm gonna have to do something about it.
Warning. Dark Zone Protocol has been initiated. All communication systems have been shut down until further notice.
I'll make a save right here. Thanks, no? An 8 could be very useful now, but what can I do? Yeah, so if those items were destructible, I'd be kind of screwed. Destruction limitations aren't always a bad thing. Where's the bastard? You shouldn't have too much health left. There we go. There it goes. Just bleed for me and die. Alright guys, so that is it for this stream. Hope you enjoyed it. I had fun streaming for you, so yeah. I'll see you on the next one. And there are some videos I'm working on. Hopefully I'll have one out this week. It's been a crazy week. On multiple fronts for me, not just random madness, other stuff as well. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to have a video out for you this week. See you guys.